Welcome to Fresh Catholic, a podcast for those who are converting, reverting, or simply want a fresh perspective of the Catholic faith to help them to open their hearts and minds to become closer to the love and goodness of Christ. My daily prayer is that I will be a bright light to others, to be filled with the love and light of Christ, so that when people look at me, they see Him radiating out from me for His glory.
Hello and welcome. I'm Lori Balderas, and I'm so happy you're here. Hello, Simon.
Hey, Lori. How's it going?
Well, that's a loaded question. So just a little health update. I'm not at my very best today, but the show must go on. And we want to do this end of the year recap because I think it's like a tradition we do here at Fresh Catholic. But I had a little accident on Christmas Eve. I slipped in the bathtub, hit my head. So I'm really white knuckling it here today, but we have to rally and make it through because we're professionals here at Fresh Catholic. And I do want to finish it out. So if I'm not maybe at my normal capacity, that's why. But I appreciate you coming, Simon.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, this is great. Anyway, I do want to just kind of talk a little bit about our Christmas. And before we move on to the new year, I have a couple things like to kind of say about it. I feel like this Christmas, there were a few challenges. We had really bad weather here in California, which is unusual.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's unusual to have a very rainy Christmas. And we definitely had a rainy Christmas. And I know people in other parts of the United States are going, why? Why are you people in California? No, it was incredibly stormy here.
Yeah.
Very stormy. And our electricity went out for the whole day of Christmas Eve, which was challenging. I know it didn't put me in a very good mood. I was in a very sour mood that day, just trying to hustle and bustle and get things done.
Yeah.
And then, getting hurt at the end of the day, that was just the icing on the cake. But I did get to have the day before a nice Christmas with my family. So at least I got through that. The holidays were good with them. Christmas Eve was a challenge. Christmas Day, I was basically in bed after I went to Mass because I was scheduled to be the coordinator of the Christmas service. And so I went to that and then came home. What is your take on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day?
Well, every season I think it's generally challenging for most people.
Yeah.
Nobody that I know of just kind of sails through it and it's all, positive. There's always challenges. But I do feel the more and more I go into my faith, that's really the real joy and solace that I'm getting because there's trouble and you need to stop for a minute and pray, even if it's internally, even if you're in a group in a family and things are weird and stuff.
Yeah.
I've been really doing that this year. And I mean, I'm just constantly praying, and I feel like my prayer life made my Christmas so much better.
Oh, that's great.
Even though it was challenging, even though there was rocky moments, like there always is.
Yeah.
There's, I had a few people within my family that I would get these phone calls, so-and-so's freaking out, was having a meltdown, things like that. And, that's when I can kind of pull back and say, okay, well then that deserves some prayer.
Yeah.
I see you struggling sometimes in moments that deserves some prayer. There are, I think if I have any sort of regrettable moments this year, it's maybe not telling you how much I love you as often as I should or I can, because we're caught up in the moment and the frenzy of everything. My prayer life reminds me that, like, you know what, you really need to love your wife and let her know that.
Aw.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh my God. We're both so tired. And we both don't feel very good right now.
Yeah, I know.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a good husband. Oh my goodness. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. So that's kind of my take. I do think some of the holiday events, they were kind of the same. It was really nice to go to your mom's. Although it wasn't a Christmas, it was nice to go to your mom's 90th birthday, which we kind of mentioned, I think.
Right.
Last time.
Well, yeah, actually, I have it, to talk about today.
Okay.
Because I also feel like, it literally, this was, like you're saying, it's kind of like, I don't think we're rare in the fact that we have challenges during the holidays. Our family is very splintered off.
Yeah.
As many, many families are. Ours is certainly splintered off. It's not like back in the day when I was married before and we had every holiday at my house and it was very intact. Even though my husband's parents were, divorced, it was, we just had it very intact, and our family doesn't have that situation or that story. And I feel like, we do have it kind of figured out where I go spend Christmas with my family, you go spend Christmas with your family, then you and I are together. I think, that's just kind of how our story is. But two things that I was going to say is on Christmas Eve, when I was feeling very not in a good place mentally, emotionally, our power was out. It was just, it throws everything off, honestly, And there was a moment where I just needed to focus on Jesus. I needed to go back and go, okay, all this static is Satan going, oh, it's Christmas. I'm so mad, So I took my Bible that you gave me for our anniversary, our first anniversary. I went out into our van and read the two versions of the Christmas story, which I could get this wrong. I'm not the right mindset, but it's Luke and Matthew.
Yeah.
Okay, so I sat in the van because it was light out there, so I could read.
That's right.
Okay, so I went and sat out there because it was still light outside, but in our house it was very dark. So I went out and read those two Christmas stories, and that helped me to go, heck with all this other stuff. This is why we're having Christmas, is this birth of our Lord, Savior, King of the whole world forever and ever.
Yeah.
So that really helped me. And then I took a nap. So that helped relieve the pain and pressure. Because honestly, anytime we, not just you and I, anytime any of us are in an anxious, worried, any state, honestly.
Yeah.
If you go back and just read the Gospels.
Well,
the Bible is beautiful, but I particularly love the Gospels because that is when Jesus is on the earth, moving, speaking, teaching. That is what helps me. And if I didn't have that, that just really helped my day. But in regards to my mom's birthday party, so one thing that I think has been a blessing this year, because I think you and I just constantly have challenges. I'm not saying everybody else doesn't, but we can only speak for ourselves. But we have so many challenges, and again, a lot of splintered off family and division and all this. This year has been there's been a lot of reconciliation and peace, or on the road to peace in many relationships. And I've been praying for years for every day for peace and harmony in our family, that there would be, more understanding, more, trying to get back together. And my mom's birthday party was amazing. It was absolutely amazing and beautiful. My family has been very splintered off for years. My sister and I were estranged for, I want to say 25 years. And recently, because our mother is, she's struggling with some memory and things. And so my brother and sister and I are trying to really unite ourselves to care for her. And my sister hosted this party for our mother's 90th birthday. And it was a perfect day. It was a perfect day. I can't believe that that's how it went. But my mom's most favorite people were there. Like my sister said, she either had to invite the whole town because my mother is very well loved in our small town, or she needed to invite this smaller group of people. And honestly, I think that's what my mom could handle memory-wise. And she had, the only people that were missing were my son Taylor and his wife and the 2 children and my son-in-law. Everybody else, my mom's, all of her great-grandchildren, her grandchildren, her children, other people that we consider our family were there. It was just a beautiful day. It was a beautiful, beautiful, peaceful, loving, united day.
Yeah, it was really nice. I really enjoyed it. You know, one thing I noticed, and this is, I don't know how to say this in a like a normal way, but I do feel like those kind of celebrations, especially when there could be some volatility, possibly, potentially.
Yes.
You know, I was really happy to see that there was no alcohol there.
Oh, that's right.
Because sometimes it just makes things bad.
Yeah.
You know, and I was glad to see that. I think, not that it helped or not that somebody would have gone overboard or anything, but there's just the potential.
Yes.
And when Satan sees that this family is reuniting, getting together, getting along, didn't like that.
Yeah.
So you add that fuel.
Yes.
And it could be, he could take advantage of that. Anyways.
Yeah.
It's just a kind of a note that I just thought, this is good.
Yeah, that's interesting. Also, I feel like when there's a family event and it revolves around an elderly matriarch of the family or patriarch, or a child's birthday party, most of the time people lay down their swords.
Oh, yeah.
Because they want to focus on those in respect, especially of the elderly.
Yeah.
To be respectful. But I thought it was an amazing day. I know my children were very happy with how the day went. We were all a little, trepidatious, maybe is the word. But I thought it was beautiful, wonderful. That was a great way to start off the holiday. I thought my mom was very happy about it. And I think, like the holidays ended up going great. I know another thing that you and I did this year, because we're low on funds as usual, but because we're packing up to head on our adventure, we told our families we're going to give you things like family heirlooms and family things we have that are nice gifts, and nothing crappy. It's not like we wrapped up some horrible thing, but we really were able to give a lot this year from our surplus, from our things that we have already that are treasures or like things that mean something. But, we wanted to pass them on so that somebody else could enjoy them. Like I gave my granddaughter my baby doll from when I was 6 years old. And, because that baby doll's been living in a box for years and years, and now gets to go live with a little girl. And, so we were able to kind of do that this year, which I thought was nice. It's like, you don't always have to go out and buy something new. You could give something meaningful.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really nice. Anyway, but overall, obviously the past couple of days, I definitely don't feel good. It's really been a struggle the past couple of days, but we just have to take it easy and rest. And, and we made it through the storm.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the rain. I like, honestly, sometimes when the lights go off and there's just like.
We'll be right back. What does it mean to live a life of faith? What does it mean to live as a Catholic Christian? Hi, this is Bishop Kevin Sweeney, host of the podcast Beyond the Beacon. Join me as we unravel and discuss the mysteries of our faith, of the church, of living as Catholic Christians. Be inspired by engaging interviews with priests and seminarians, deacons, religious, women and men who live the life of faith day by day here in our Diocese of Patterson, in food pantries and classrooms and parishes and ministry. How is God working in their lives today? How is God working in our lives? Join me as I ask them and be part of the conversation on Beyond the Beacon. Listen and follow Beyond the Beacon wherever you get your podcasts, or watch it on my YouTube channel. Please check the show notes for more details. Thank you and God bless you.
I don't mind it unless, it's Christmas Eve, trying to get stuff accomplished.
Yeah.
I think it's just, it was frustrating. And again, it's just, I think it's like, I always just blame it on Satan. Satan, why? No. Anyway, it turned out, but I do feel, I think it was nice to spend time with family, and my daughter is in her new house. It's such a warm, cozy, wonderful family vibe. I feel really good that she's there with the children. Everybody was just in a great mood. It was very, very nice. So, and I know you enjoyed spending time with your family as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's kind of like the Christmas recap. And, when we did our last episode, we were talking about like Christmas movies and everything.
Oh yeah.
We kind of have watched different ones this year. Honestly, it's been very sporadic around here. But we've introduced a couple.
Yeah.
We have like Christmas Vacation. We watched that.
Oh my God.
the other day.
That was
I
rough.
don't know what we think about that.
That was rough. There was no story.
No,
At all.
but wait, hold on. There was no story really, but there was a lot of Jesus.
Oh
in
yeah,
that,
yeah, that's true.
which I realized I'm like, they were playing Christmas songs with Jesus.
Yeah.
They mentioned Jesus a few times.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, wait a second.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah,
interesting?
that's interesting. And we saw Millions, which we didn't talk about,
Oh, yes.
which was a good movie.
So we have a new movie that as a matter of fact, we watched it, I think
Well, I've seen it so many times.
I know, but I think when we recorded the last episode, right when we were done, you said, oh my gosh, we didn't bring up this movie.
It's actually one of my favorite modern Christmas stories. It takes place during Christmas. It is focused on the nativity specifically, that the climax takes place. But it's about a little boy. If anybody hasn't seen it, it's directed by Danny Boyle, amazing director.
2004.
2004, about a little boy who's lives with his father. His mother has passed away, and he has an older brother. He's kind of a bully type. And he's obsessed with saints.
Yeah.
And he talks to saints, and they appear to him.
And they're there.
And they're there, and they're talking, and they have all unique personalities and stuff. And it's all woven through this beautiful story about giving and the true meaning of Christmas and the forces of good and evil.
Yes.
It's really a powerful, sweet. You'll tear up in this movie.
It is so beautiful. It's shot great. And then the little boy is absolutely adorable, and he reminds me of one of my grandsons. But he great acting. You would love it. It needs to be on your Christmas list now, because it is a modern day Christmas. It is definitely geared, with the saints. So that's it's wonderful. Please, it's not too late. We're still on Christmas.
Yeah.
We're still in the Christmas season.
Yeah.
So watch that. That was great. And then
there's one of the key points of the plot is this little boy. This is doing the turn where England was going into the euro.
all right.
And so all of the pounds, you had to trade it in to get, the new euro. And there's all kinds of thieves and robbers that are trying to steal this money.
Yeah.
In this train that they're going to go burn. And anyhow, he comes across this enormous amount of money.
Yes.
And that's why it's called Millions. And him and his brother.
And he's got like the most giving heart.
Yeah, he just wants to give it
boy.
away. He wants to give it away all.
And so he looks like one of my grandsons, but his giving heart reminds us of your granddaughter, Evie, because she's just so giving.
Yeah.
Her first thought, and she's only 8, her first thought is giving.
Yeah.
She doesn't think what's for me. Her first thought is always give, which is beautiful for an 8-year-old. And this little boy was what, 11?
Maybe around the same
Or
age.
8, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Millions, you got to check that out. Amazing. And then we're watching Sound of Music.
Yep.
Sound of Music, I mean, come on. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
Not that that's necessarily a Christmas movie, but
Yeah.
it's a good, amazing epic. Perfect for everybody in your family.
Yeah, it's really...
So if you haven't watched it in a while, go back. It's amazing. And it was made in my birth year. So there you go.
And it was made by one of my favorite directors.
Oh, who you've met and interviewed.
Robert Wise. Yes.
Robert Wise.
Yeah.
Little name drop here. Little name drop. I like, that's how Simon does it. Oh, by the way, were watching it last night. He goes, oh, by the way, I interviewed Robert Wise. So humble. Okay. Anyway, we're going to go to a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about, because we just spent this whole time talking about Christmas, which is fine because that's how we're ending the year. And then we're going to talk about moving into 2026. How I'm going to do a quick recap about 2025 and then we'll head into 2026. Okay, we'll be right back. What is happening at Fresh Catholic? Thanks for asking. Well, we have a weekly podcast with lots of topics and guests, and Fresh Catholic Daily, the daily Mass readings. Listen on all platforms and watch on YouTube. I also do short videos every day on Instagram and Facebook at Fresh Catholic. Like, share, subscribe, rate, and review. These are such simple ways to help us out. The other ways you can support our mission of drawing people to the faith or back to the faith are by becoming a Patreon or sponsor. Also simple, but so needed. Our website, freshcatholic.com, has an online store with merchandise, a blog, comics, and Fresh Catholic courses with educator Charles Merritt, with the Hail Mary, the Our Father, the Virtues, the Ascension, the Magi, the Visitation, the Ten Commandments, Sacraments and Grace, Sin, Advent, Angels, Lent, Typology, and even some Bible study courses. Wow, that's a lot. Please share all of this with everyone you know and join the Fresh Catholic family. And remember, be focused, be faithful, and be fresh. Oh, wait, one more thing. Our Typology series by educator Charles Merritt is feeling very unloved. I know, I get it. You see or hear that word, typology, and your eyes glaze over. You stifle a yawn. You might think to yourself or even say to others, dry, boring, too Old Testament-ish for me. If that's you, then you're missing out because typology connects the promise of Jesus in the Old Testament and the arrival of Jesus in the New Testament. It's like putting scripture under a microscope and seeing things you never saw before. So head to our website, freshcatholic.com, and give typology some love and attention. You will be amazed. And we're back. Okay, so I want to recap 2025 Fresh Catholic. Okay. First of all, for any new listeners, we started in January of 2023. And when I used to do the episodes, I was always by myself. I would do them a completely different way than I do now because, you know, these things are progression. Yeah. And I remember when I started out with 35 listeners a week. Okay. And then in 2024, I decided to start doing the daily Mass readings, Fresh Catholic Daily. And that's when everything kind of took off because I think that's a need that people have. Whether you are going to Mass every day or not, a lot of people listen no matter what. I think it starts people's day off great or ends their day great. I get a lot of positive feedback on the dailies. So that we kind of did that. We brought Charles Merritt on, I believe, in 2024 as well. Yeah. And Charles Merritt does many of our series on the Fresh Catholic website. He's an educator at our church's high school, and he's just very knowledgeable. So we brought him on. So he's a part of our.
I want to say that we've done at least an entire, an entire series a month. Okay. At least. So I want to say at least 12 or 13
Okay, series. Yeah, we have a lot if you go to our website. So they're there. You can watch them. You can binge them. You can watch them as a family. They're amazing. Like we feel really honored and privileged that he does this with us, you know, and we do all this without any pay. Yeah. It's all, you know, a lot of, you know, sweat equity here because we all are on a mission. Yeah. So anytime anybody wants to donate to us, though, we are very open to sponsors, Patreons. We were gifted by one of our listeners, very devoted listeners, Tracy. she donated money to Fresh Catholic at the end of the year, and we really needed that because we do have expenses here, and we want to keep this going, but it's not always easy. So thank you, Tracy, so much. And we thank our Patreon so much that for their monthly contributions. We just, we don't ask for a lot, but if anybody wants to sponsor or send a donation, we very much would appreciate it because we do want to keep this up and going.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we brought on Charles Merritt, and that's been really great. So go check that out if you haven't. So, okay, I want to give you stats.
Okay.
This is the numbers of where we're at, everybody. Because, like I said, some people have been with us from the beginning, and some people have come in and out, and some people are new. So Charles Merritt has done multiple series. This year, 2025, we had 32 guests, which is amazing. We are now in partnership with Ignatius Press. Brian O'Neill and I work together. He sends me authors to choose from. And so we have really been able to, people have been reaching out to us to be guests. We're not really having to reach out to people anymore. So we feel very honored that Brian O'Neill and Ignatius Press trust us with their authors. So that's been nice. We had our Path to Catholicism Summertime series, and we had a different convert every week.
Oh, yeah.
That was a very popular series, and I would love to try to do that again this summer. I thought that was a good thing to do in the summertime. So if any of you are converts, reach out to Lori@freshcatholic.com, and we'll get you scheduled for this summer. If you have a really good convert story, that's one of the reasons we're here.
Or revert.
Yeah, convert or revert. So reach out to me and let me know that you want to tell your story. That just helps people to, get excited. We are, and this is always, these next numbers are very fluid. These change very rapidly. Okay. So as of this recording, we are in 103 countries. We are in 1,993 cities worldwide. We have 882 episodes on Buzzsprout.
I wonder how Gibraltar's doing, if we've gained any numbers.
Gibraltar is still in the top 10.
Is it really?
Yeah. We have 44,000 downloads on that I know of on Buzzsprout, which...
Oh, well, we have way.
Okay, so I'm just saying what I know here. This is the analytics guy. I just was looking at our stats. We have 1.5 thousand videos on YouTube.
Yes.
We have 76.6 thousand subscribers on YouTube.
We're getting there, yeah.
We're getting there. Woo! I mean, we get at least 100 subscribers.
No, I think on YouTube, this is rough numbers. We get about 40,000 views a month. Yeah,
a month.
Somewhere around there.
Woo!
And it just gets.
So thank you, everybody. Tell all your friends. And I'm still on Instagram. I post short videos every day. So, the one thing that, we've talked about this before, but I find very fascinating is I had thought about, asking people some questions, but nobody ever responds back.
What do you mean?
Like if I were to say, send us your feedback, on, do you want to see more guests, less guests? Do you want to see more of this guy? What subjects do you want me to do? I ask questions, but it's very, very quiet out there. We'll get maybe one comment. We'll get maybe one response. But we would like to know what everybody is really interested in.
Okay.
I would love to do a a poll and say, what was your favorite episode? What was your, what would you like to see more of? But anyway, Catholics are very quiet, I feel. So 2025 had, in my opinion, two challenges.
Okay, let me see. Okay.
We already talked about it, but we need financial support.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge because we're always trying to say, how can we, get these things accomplished? How can we get this equipment we need? Yeah. Especially now that we're going to be going on the road, we need to make sure we're able to continue the podcast. It's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. Yeah. And then that our pilgrimage got canceled.
Yes.
That was a challenge in many ways for me personally. I just was so excited about the opportunity to get to go on the pilgrimage to Italy with Father Matthew Miguel. Trinity Tour Travels was so kind and supportive of wanting us to go on that pilgrimage. And ultimately, I didn't get support from our church, which was, I think, the biggest hurdle.
Mm-hmm.
I think if the church would have supported me, that we would have gone.
Yeah.
I do, because Father Matthew's church was supporting him. And I just felt that was really unfortunate, but obviously it wasn't God's plan for us to go.
Mm.
And I did feel bad. I did feel sad and wounded. And I just felt it was a bummer because I think, I was really looking forward to that for myself and pilgrims to go.
I think, that specifically, it's hard to find the silver lining in that situation. There's one. There's one somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And in time, I think it'll reveal itself as to why that played out like that.
Yeah. I think the other thing that was very hard on me was, this was something I just really thought was going to change my life and make me like more, it was going to bring, I'm so visual. I thought I'm going to go to these places and it's just going to be the most miraculous thing for me to actually be in these places where I can see the things for myself, touch certain things, and it be around, these relics and be in these places. And, it just, I was just imagining how life-changing that was going to be. And I think one of the things that just really was sad to me is I feel like some of the people that were putting roadblocks in my way have been to these places multiple times, and I don't have the means to go to these places. And that was going to be the thing that I was going to get to go to this, that Trinity Tour Travels was, allowing me to get to go on this trip that I probably wouldn't get to do otherwise.
Right.
And so I think that's the part that I really struggled with, is it was something that isn't easily attainable to me.
Right.
And so anyway, yes, there'll be something that'll come up later and I'll go, oh, that's why, I didn't get to go. But anyway, that was a big challenge and sad thing. The blessings, I think, for this year are, we have a lot of listeners. We have a lot of people who are listening and watching. And, I started this podcast because I wanted to make any sort of difference I could. I just saw a thing that Jim Caviezel, who plays Jesus in The Passion of the Christ, said. I'm not going to quote him correctly, but he was saying, whatever you can do to bring Jesus to people, no matter what it is, however you can do that, be a voice, be courageous, and speak up that you are a follower of Jesus and that you want other people to, again, I'm very much paraphrasing him, but his message was, because sometimes it's scary to speak up and say that you're a follower of Christ. Sometimes people really want to attack you for that, but we have Jesus as our shield. So anyway, I really appreciate listeners and viewers, our Patreons, like I said, our guests. I've really enjoyed our guests. I think they've been really amazing authors and people. And again, lovers of Christ, people who have their thing, their platform, their whatever it is they're trying to draw people in, to their thing that they're an expert at. I think it was great to have them. And yeah, so that's what I have to say about my recap for 2025. Do you have any thoughts about anything that you particularly liked or were challenged with this year? Fresh Catholic?
With Fresh Catholic? I think my challenge, is specifically personally, is time.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time. I do what I can.
Yeah.
To do what I can, Fresh Catholic. I wish we could. It's a little lopsided in terms of what because I have like this survival thing mode that I have to work.
Yeah.
Whether if it's a film job or another type of job. I've been really stretched intellectually in terms of trying to shift my work and what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and scaling down. I mean, I was always, before always looking for big film jobs, and now it's different. Now I'm not doing that. Now I'm kind of changing, and the whole film industry has really shifted.
Yeah.
So I've had to reinvent myself several times during the last 30 years, doing various things. That's kind of why I know a lot about a lot of different things in terms of film.
Yeah.
But that was probably the biggest challenge. It's a little demoralizing. It's, I tended to take a lot of this personally. I know that's not really the case, but it's hard to elevate your spirits and your hope when things aren't going great, when you're looking for work and it's not there. And, there's the younger guy that gets the job instead of, it's the way it is,
Yeah.
So that was my challenge, I think, just transitioning, and then also, finding the time to do the work that needs to be done.
Well, and I think also with Fresh Catholic, like I said, when we started, we had one way we were doing things. And then I know there's like things that I have wished we could do that we haven't had time for. It doesn't mean we won't in the future, but there's different things that I wanted to put time into myself, not adding to your plate, because you editing, Simon edits everything. He, it's a lot. It's time consuming. So we're trying to be a good team. He has his gifts. I have my gifts, but I know there's things that I would like to try to enhance the experience for our followers and our listeners.
And then just, creatively, pretty unfulfilling year for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely haven't really done anything creative that I would, and that's a life source for me.
Yeah.
And so I get really depressed.
Yeah.
When I can't create stuff, make stuff. I just feel like a robot.
Yeah.
Kind of. I don't know.
Well, so I think that's a good segue into, like we're leaving 2025 behind.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I think we did a great job on Fresh Catholic this year. I do think, it helped with the guests we've had and everything. And I'm ready to see 2025 go. I was anxious and excited for 2025 because I thought our plans were going to happen earlier in 2025. And here we're still kind of where we were a year ago. In some ways. But moving on to 2026, we are, things are about to really change.
Yeah.
And I know we've been saying this to people, like for people who've been with us a while, it's like 2 years ago, we were going to leave. A year ago, we were going to leave. We had these plans we were going to do. And God was just kind of like, I feel like he's holding us back, because he knows exactly when he wants to, let us go. But we decided, a few months ago to just kind of like be proactive. Deacon Don gave us advice because we were trying to discern what to do, how to do it. And he just said, take it a step at a time. If this step works, move to the next step. If it doesn't, pivot, that sort of an attitude. And that's what I think we've done. And so we've talked about it before, but now it's really coming up. And so 2026, we are heading out on an adventure. And we got our Sprinter van. You and our friend Adrian have been working on it to make it a little home, a home on wheels.
Yeah.
And it's coming along. And we're heading out very, very soon. And so it's exciting. It's scary. It's a leap of faith. We did a whole episode on a leap of faith that we are doing this adventure. But I do feel kind of like what you just said, where, you haven't got to create or, there's really not, we really don't have a lot of quality of life where we are and what we're doing. It's not to say we don't love our family, we don't love our church, we don't love, certain things. It's more that all we do is work. And it's like the day goes by so fast because all we're doing is have our head down, doing things that just to make it from point A to point B.
Right.
And so we are taking a leap of faith. We are going to go on this adventure. We are leaving soon. It's not like we're thinking about it. It's happening.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
You had this, yeah. We have to now.
We are. Yeah.
I've got one foot out the door.
We're committed. Yeah. And so I think that's good. I think that, anything that's a new adventure or a shift in what you're doing is scary, it's unnerving a bit, but I feel good about it. And I think, you have to take that first step. We're going to do it together. It's not like we're doing this separately. Yeah. We have each other. We have Jesus. It doesn't matter where we go. He's going to be with us.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, we're taking off. We're going to travel around the United States. We're going to go visit some family members and friends on our way back east. And then we're, our hope, our wish, our prayer, our dream, please pray for us, is that we will get a little farm somewhere and we will settle down and lead a very simple, reverent, peaceful, calm existence.
Catholic life.
Yeah. Because we both just feel like mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually exhausted, and we need, I can just say for myself, I would like a more focused, but on these more just pure, simple things. Like I want to have animals and have that, I miss having, we have animals here, but I'm just saying where, we're taking care of them and they're taking care of us in a way, and we can grow our own food and write and create and be. So
this idea came about very organically. We didn't we all have love of land and we love animals and we love the animals that we have now, chickens specifically now. And we developed this idea kind of coincidentally.
We did.
Yeah. And I say coincidentally, not because we did it just together, but because I discovered as we were doing this that there's a movement. It's called the Catholic Land Movement that is specifically for people and families that are really wanting to strive for the tenets that you described, the simplicity, the back to the land, working with your hands, learning trades, those kinds of things. It started with Pope Leo, I believe, in the 1920s.
Different Pope Leo.
Yeah, different Pope Leo. But now this Pope Leo, 2025, has endorsed, again, there's been a huge resurgence of this movement, the Catholic Land Movement. It started in 2019 as a resurgence. And there are a whole lot of people doing what you're saying. And they're doing, I'm more specific about what I want to do. I want to do it regeneratively. I want to do it responsibly. And I also want to do it in a Catholic kind of community or build one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I'm really interested in. As you know, I don't, your listeners may or may not know that I did travel a lot throughout the United States, making documentaries too, specifically about regenerative agriculture. And I went to, hundreds of farms.
Yeah.
And I saw people living and how they do it. I learned so much about how to take care of the land and how to build up the soil and all this stuff. And so that's what I'm looking forward to doing.
Yeah. So I think also, and I love that. And I do think a lot of people are striving, not just us, are striving for a more, like you're saying, a Catholic life where it's, without all this noise and without the things that are attached to suburban and urban living,
right? Where
it's you don't want to send your kids to school because of the things, parents don't have rights anymore.
Back when it originally started with Pope Leo, the original Pope Leo, that was during the Industrial Revolution, and he saw a lot of children working in factories, families being broken up. That's why he said, you guys, we need to return to the land.
Yeah.
And so that's why he started that. And one of the great Catholic thinkers, G.K. Chesterton, he had a famous phrase that said, 3 acres and a cow. That's all you need.
Yeah.
So
So I think, and I do feel like you and I both naturally came to this idea together. I mean, obviously God, I feel, has a hand in it because we both agree on this. Like I was just telling you even last night, I was saying, it's not like you're saying to me, this is what I want to do. And you're coming with me. And this is, you're coming with me kicking and screaming. It's not that at all. It's that you and I, like when you were out traveling, filming the documentaries, you were out traveling the United States with you and the crew.
Yeah.
And you would call me and say, oh gosh, you would love it here. I wish you could see this, And so I would really like to go and on our way out there, like check out some things, go to some churches, check out other Catholic churches, just like kind of meander back there.
Yeah.
And then
I feel like podcast at the same time.
doing our podcast. We'll still be doing that, creating, and I'm going to be doing other things. I'm going to have a whole other thing going on too, if people are interested. I've already talked about it on another episode. I'm a life coach now, certified life coach and trauma coach. And so I'm going to be doing things with that as well, because I kind of think those things go hand in hand, just trying to heal people. My emphasis will be on restoring and strengthening marriage and family, because I want to keep people together. But anyway, I feel like, us traveling back there and then finding a place where we have quality of life. I can envision it. It's not to say that, there won't be bumps in the road or whatever. And I understand that. But I think if we both have the same common goal, and our goal is one of, like we're saying, like goodness, simplicity, getting like, there's a bunch of things that I really miss doing, or things I've never even done before, where I'm like, gosh, I would really like to, like, I haven't had a proper garden since like 1989.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I mean, like I had a garden one time and I really liked it and I enjoyed it. And then of course I love animals, but I mean, like there's some things that I just really would like to do that I would like to spend my time doing instead, that are life giving, life affirming, life enriching. I think the other thing is I would really like to see you happy. You're not a very happy guy. And the whole time we've been together, it's just like I always say, it's like clawing our way upstream in quicksand. That's what it feels like our whole lives. Yeah. And it's like, I would just like to get in that inner tube and go down, where God is just guiding us where we're supposed to go. And people keep asking, well, where are you going? Where are you going to do this? And I said, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. We have a general idea, but God is going to show us this is where you're supposed to be. I think he's going to show us where we're supposed to land. That's why I don't want to get too set on one particular thing. I just know we both have the common goal. And I think it's a good goal. And I think Fresh Catholic is going to continue. I think it's going to look different. I think we're going to, it's going to morph into the next phase, because I think we've gone through some different phases, but we want to continue it. I mean, we might pick up even more people because of the new things we're going to be doing. So, I hope everybody sticks with us. I hope you continue to support us and tell friends and family about us, and, keep an eye out of what else we're offering, because I think there's some things I would like to do, that I haven't had time for, that I'm hoping to have time for. I know I have books I'm going to be writing. I know you have books you're going to be writing. So we have a lot ahead of us. Most people at this age are going night, night. And I'm still going to say night, night, because I love to sleep. But we just have things that we, are looking forward to doing that we haven't been able to or have the time for. And this is what we would like to do now. So we just really need prayers and support. And
it's definitely, it's a giant leap of faith, because we are, like you're saying, we don't know. We're jumping into the literal unknown. That takes a lot. And I know I'm not really nervous about it at all. I'm actually excited about it.
I know I'm not nervous either.
Yeah, I have a real calm about it.
Yeah.
I have a real excitement about it. I'm looking forward to the photography that I'm just dying to do, but unable to.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of ideas, and I could just go on and on.
Yeah. I think it's going to be very good. It's very needed. It's very necessary. I feel like it's time because things have fallen into place, as far as things I was worried about. Like, I feel like my 3 children are very set. I think God's showing me like they're all exactly where they should be, and they're all doing well and being taken care of. So I feel good with that. I feel like my mom is being well taken care of. I'm not going to be working at the church anymore. They got a person to take over for me. She's amazing and wonderful, Laura Galvan. And I feel good. Like, I don't feel like, oh no, I can't leave, because I feel great. Like, she's going to do a great job, and I feel good with that. Definitely ready to leave this house. And people keep going, you're going to live in a van? I go, temporarily, and I like small spaces.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I've done it with a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
And that's a different...
I'm a lot softer, quieter, and I don't snore. Well, maybe I snore. What do I know?
Yeah, no, and these guys are kind of rough too. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be, I'm concerned a little bit, with your physical challenges and stuff. I want to be really careful. And I think, we definitely need God's protection.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. And I do think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a good thing. I'm with you. I don't really have any, I'm not really like hesitant at all. I feel ready. And, we just have to we have a lot to do.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge.
We got a lot to do.
We can do it as soon as I start feeling better.
Okay.
God willing. Anyway, so anything else you want to say before we end this episode?
No, that's it, I think.
Well, thank you for coming. I love you very much. I appreciate all you do for Fresh Catholic. I couldn't do it without you at all. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be here today. People don't understand what it takes to do a podcast. I think people just think we sit down and that's it.
And just,
I mean, I really do. But it's quite a production, and Simon, I appreciate that. And then I just appreciate, that we're going to go on this, that we're doing this together, and it's something we both are doing,
and faithfully.
Yeah.
We're doing it in faith. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost kind of like we're being told or called. Or, I don't know.
And that's why I don't quite know, like we do have our ideas about, I think our, the books that we want to write are
I've been writing one already.
Yeah, but I mean, they're very God-centric. They're not like some, they all are very. So I think those will add to, how we can reach out to people to draw them closer to Christ. I think we're just shifting gears, and I think sometimes when you're in a certain life, and there's nothing wrong with staying in your regimented, me, I love a good schedule. I love a good plan and all those things. But there comes a point where God puts people to do that forever. Like, they'll just continue to do that. And other things, he wants you to take a different road. If you realize priests stay only in parishes for so long and they move to a different parish.
Right.
So Father Daniel brought up at our retreat that just when he gets settled and he knows people, he has to move.
Right.
But see, God does that because if you stay in the same spot all the time, which again, some people feel good and confident and secure in that. I'm not against that. But if God's calling you to go somewhere else, he has a need for you. What if there's somebody out there, one person, that if you didn't leave your spot and go, you wouldn't impact them.
Right.
It's not always about us. It's about what if there's somebody else that because we, I have been fascinated by a few people that are really genuinely sad I'm leaving. And I didn't even know that I even meant anything to them. And I was thinking, wow, like I just didn't realize I had such a impact. And it made me feel like, wow, that's so nice, and maybe I did make a difference to them. But I'd like to think that us leaving isn't just about us. It's about, what the next chapter is. That's why I'm doing a whole thing on the 6th chapter, I'm calling it,
right.
is moving on through our 6th chapter, which is, well, my 60s. What does my 6th chapter hold? And so, anyway, so I'm excited, but I think we are being drawn to go.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. I hope because this will come out before the end of the year. So I hope you had a beautiful, blessed Christmas. I mean, we're still in Christmas. That's the one thing I love about being Catholic. All you other people, we're still celebrating Christmas. I told Simon we still have plenty of time to watch our Christmas movies because we're still in the Christmas season. But I hope that all went great. And then please have a safe, happy, and healthy new year. And just keep listening and watching Fresh Catholic. And we thank you so much for your support. Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Thank you for joining me today. Now go out and be a bright light in someone's life. And remember, be focused, be faithful, and be fresh. Fresh Catholic is produced, edited, and recorded in Ventura, California.